And welcome back. Well, a lot of employers, especially big companies, use engagement surveys. We're talking about ours right now.
Yeah.
They measure morale, productivity, and turnover risk. And unfortunately, many people say these surveys don't often lead to concrete action or to any real change.
Yeah, so what actually works? For that, we turn to a leadership pro. Beth Ridley is the CEO of Ridley Consulting Group. She's a workplace culture expert who helps leaders embrace better strategies.
Yeah.
And she's here today with more information on why these surveys so often fail to produce positive change.
Yeah,
Great
they
to
do.
see you,
Yeah,
Beth.
hi, really timely, right?
Yeah,
it is.
This is
Yeah.
the season when everybody's doing engagement surveys.
Well, and the thing is, employees want to be honest and
Yeah.
then hope it leads to real change. So they kind of put themselves out there, share their real thoughts, hoping that something's gonna matter.
Hoping.
Yeah,
But
right.
then when it doesn't, you're like, why am I doing this? It's a formality, never mind. Ugh, more work.
Yep.
Yeah.
So why don't they lead to real change?
Because it's sort of like a one and done, right? We do the survey and then that's meant to, solve everything, but it's really just the beginning. And I think leaders do two things wrong. The first one is taking the results personally. Right? So as a leader, you're like, oh my God, this is a reflection of me. And instead of being open to the feedback, you start explaining why. Like, oh, we've had a lot of change, or, we lost some team members, so of course
It's a tough economy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when employees hear that, they think, okay, not open to feedback, I'm really not going to share anything, and, business as usual, and let's just move on.
Yeah, for sure. What happens, in your opinion, when employees don't see change? So they maybe respond or maybe they don't, but they don't see any change.
I think they just sort of see it as a formality, and they don't really bother. They do it really quickly, and they're not really thoughtful about it. Sometimes it has the opposite effect. People feel even worse because it's like you're asking and nothing's changing, so you're really not hearing anything, and your results even go down.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I've had a few employees confide in me and say, you know what, as a team, we get together and we give, the top scores across the survey just so we don't have to deal with this. So if everything looks good on paper, we don't have to talk about it and we just go back and do our work. So employees can definitely get disengaged if you don't do anything about it.
So once the results come in, that's when it can go wrong.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what's the mistake then that the next mistake teams make?
Okay, so one mistake is the leader tries to explain everything away and it shuts down communication. Another common mistake is on the opposite end. They try to do too much, right? And then it's like, okay, we have to have an engagement, a whole action plan and solve everything all at once. And it starts to feel too big, too heavy. And employees are like, but I still have to get my work done. Now this has created more work.
Yeah.
And you shut down and then you just get busy with your day-to-day work. So you forget everything in the action plan because the solution is just way too big. It's more than what's actually necessary.
Well, our employer sends out a lot of engagement surveys.
Yeah.
I might be overestimating. I think it's like twice a month or something like that. It is a lot. And it's a lot if you're thinking you're going to address the concerns, especially in a larger company.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering why the changes, happen and why they don't stick. I mean, one reason is obviously if they try to take on too much and it's sort of overwhelming.
Yeah.
It seems like you need to hyper focus on really the most pressing thing, or maybe the thing that you hear the most from employees.
Focus and also things that are doable in your day-to-day work. So I think the main thing is, so if you're doing those surveys once a month, actually not bad, as long as you're actually talking about it and asking employees, okay, here's what the results said, but how does this feel and show up in your day-to-day work? And then stop talking and actually listen. And let employees articulate, because all employees want their day-to-day work to be better. So that would be the first thing. And then just choose one small behavior that would get to better, that you can turn into a habit. So like, for example, a really common survey result is, we don't have enough transparent communication. So instead of coming up with like these big, elaborate communication plans, you could just say, well, maybe at the end of every meeting, we recap next steps. Like, that's actually doable. And then do it. And then once a month, check in. Like, well, how's that going? Is it working? And then once it becomes a habit, you can move on to the next thing.
Right.
So that's how you make change, turning it into small actions that are repeatable and they can become habit. And then just talking about it 10 minutes once a month is all you need.
Yeah, makes sense.
So do you think employees should feel
comfortable sharing everything that they're really thinking?
Yes, definitely. I mean, most surveys are designed to be truly anonymous.
Yeah.
Right?
And
so,
are they?
Because
Can
that's what
feel
employees worry
confident?
too.
Actually, a lot of employees do not feel that it's anonymous.
Right.
And it's just sort of like skepticism around
Paranoia.
surveying and paranoia and everything like that. But, if it's a well-designed survey, it absolutely will be, especially if you don't start asking a lot of demographic or identifying questions, especially in smaller teams.
Yeah.
Right?
Because what you don't want is you don't want people to think, I don't have time to fill out this survey because nothing changes anyway.
Correct.
So employers, if you're going to spend the money or the time and resources on an engagement survey, it would seem like it'd be important to at least take away one actionable step.
Absolutely. And frankly, because employees are maybe skeptical that it is anonymous, then just don't do the survey or don't depend on the survey to change anything. Ongoing conversations.
Yeah.
How's work going? How could we improve? Great, let's choose one thing and keep talking about it. Then when you do the survey, you will definitely see the results, but it's all about ongoing conversation.
Good to
love
see you,
that.
Beth.
Thank you so much, Beth. And if you want to rewatch this segment or send it to a friend or coworker or your boss, visit our website. It's themorningblend.com.